how is it possible to do what I do, travel for work, travel for pleasure, and then still take care of my children? Hello, everyone. Dr. Aisha Rush coming to you once again from that beautiful sunshine state of Florida. Doesn't look like there's much sun shining behind me now as the sun has gone down. I did watch a beautiful sunset today here in Miami. I wanted to come again from this beautiful place because this is where I can get all of my creative juices going and talk about some of the topics that people are really wanting to learn and hear about. Many topics people don't even talk about a lot of times or scared to ask their doctors about. But one thing outside of gynecologic and obstetric topics and just women's health topics that I wanted to start to interject into some of my videos is what my life is kind of like. I think one of my videos talked about me being a traveling OB-GYN and what that life was like, and also a little bit about what my life is like when it comes to me and my children and what that looks like to have 8 kids. And so for me, interestingly enough, I never thought in a million years that I would be the girl to have 8 children. I never thought that. I knew that I wanted to be a physician. I knew that I wanted my career to go in that direction. And I knew that it was going to be very difficult to be able to juggle career and family at the same time. But I also was under the mindset of if I can have one, I can also have the other. And while there were so many people telling me that I could not do both, it would be difficult to do both, I refused to believe that. And I made it a point to prove them wrong. And that I have, because I am still a very active practicing physician. I have opened my own businesses. I have obtained multiple degrees. Outside of my MD, I decided to go and get a Master's of Business Administration and also pursue my Master of Arts, and also decided to pursue law school. So all of those things are very possible. My children actually range in age from 23 to 3 months. I have a 23-year-old, I have an 18-year-old, I have a 12-year-old, 11-year-old, a 9-year-old, a 7-year-old, a 3-year-old, and a 3-month-old. And how is it possible to do what I do, travel for work, travel for pleasure, and then still take care of my children? Well, I will say this, for my older children, I've become more of a consultant. I'm their parent, but I'm not necessarily the person telling them what to do, which is wonderful in its own right. Because I think that as your children age, it is not a matter of telling them what to do. It's a matter of working with them and teaching them how to do things and how to navigate this crazy world and this life, and trying to create a life that they can enjoy and they can be happy with. With my adolescent children, it's still being a parent, but being more hands-on. And I enjoy each of these age groups, interestingly enough, because they bring the joys, but they also bring the challenges. But all in all, you're still a parent and you love them. And so even when they're crazy, you realize that this is a part of life. I may scream my head off one day, but say that I love them the next day. And that's just the way life goes. Juggling everything that I've been able to juggle over the years has not been without help. I know that my grandparents were a significant part of my life when it came to helping me with my first 2 children. My mother-in-law too was a part of my life in terms of helping us with our children. And especially later in our lives when we wanted to travel the world and feel comfortable with leaving our children with someone for weeks at a time when we were on vacation. But I commend my older children because, interestingly enough, even though we have made it a point to not parentify them, they have always stepped up to the plate to be very helpful. They are very loving and caring children, and they love their siblings dearly. Not my sister. Well, she could be my sister. it seems, because I talk to my daughter almost as if we are sisters. I guess that's probably the reason why I made that bit of a mistake there. But my daughter said to me, you know, the one thing that she was grateful for is to have all of her siblings. And that really made my heart smile. But more so than anything, I've had a very supportive husband. I have had somebody who has been in my corner from day one. We met each other in high school, and we got married shortly after I graduated high school, and decided to have children shortly after we got married, because we had already known each other for 6 years prior to us getting married. And it has been a journey. It's not been always an easy journey. We've not had the greatest of times at times. Marriage has definitely been something that we've had to work at. And I think that goes for anyone. And I think that in that journey of our marriage and us learning one another, we've become best friends. We know a little bit about one another in terms of what our likes and dislikes are from time to time, but we still have the ability to explore each other. But the wonderful thing in all of that is that the challenges that life bring, we also embrace them in ways that allow us to grow together, and allow us to grow with our children. And even with challenges of being a parent, it allows us to grow and to continue to work at this thing we call marriage and life. The one thing that I can say that over the years has allowed me to be successful is not only support and tenacity, fervor, and determination, but also planning, and also making sure that I look at the big picture and try to come up with long-term and short-term goals. My mother introduced me to financial planning very early in my life, and also the idea about having appropriate insurance, life insurance, disability insurance, all of those things. And I have been grateful for that, because that has served me well. So in a nutshell, what is Dr. Rush's life like? It's hectic at times, but it's beautiful most of the time. And my children are my biggest accomplishment outside of medicine and anything else I've accomplished. I have grown children who too are very successful and intelligent, from Dean's List to grad school to all of that. And knowing the value of a dollar, knowing the value of education, and knowing the value of happiness and love. And that, I can say, is probably my biggest accomplishment ever. And when it comes to looking at life, I try to look at life with the glass half full rather than half empty. And I think that makes a big difference. So for those people who are out there who are looking to start their careers in whatever career choice you choose, and thinking about how life works with family, career, and giving yourself to both of those, but trying not to sacrifice one over the other. It is not easy, but it is possible. Of course, I'm always here for any comments, questions. You can always post them. And of course, like and subscribe if you like this topic, and others, please send them, and I'll be more than happy to go over those topics and discuss other things such as this, and give a little bit more about my life rather than all the education stuff. I'll do some fun things here and there, maybe with my kids from time to time. We'll see. Thanks guys for listening. I hope this was helpful for someone out there. And again, please like and subscribe. I'll see you guys soon. Have a great night.